Honda NC750. Foxtrot Victor 17, Uniform Yankee Kilo. First thing we've got to stop you doing, Les, is putting both feet down when you're stopping. I call it paddling, but 1 foot is sufficient. Either left or right, it matters not. Okay, let's get up to the speed limit. So that's where you should have come off the island. There's come off in the offside lane, you're already in the position to overtake these heavy goods. Just get up to that speed limit as soon as you can. And we're going to come off at the next exit, so 3, 2, 1, and shoulder check. Shoulder check just before you come off there, just to check your near side, Les. And we're turning right, good, so you're indicating. Quick tip here, you can look through the bushes and you can see that if there's any traffic on the island. Good, breakaway signal nicely. Just check. Maintaining a 30 mile an hour, this 30 limit. Nice central position on the road. Just so you're aware, Les, when you start to read the roadcraft manual, it will talk about when we look at positioning, position 1, 2 and 3. 1 is towards the near side of the carriageway, 2 is in the centre of the carriageway, and 3 towards the offside of the carriageway. So on a speed like this, we're quite happy just to keep it at position 2. No real opportunity or opportunity to progress, but or get a better view. But then there are times, like here now, we're coming into a 40 limit. Just move to the offside, to the centre line. Get yourself a good look around the bend. And we're coming into a 50 sign, so I'm just going to check my mirror and a shoulder check to make sure nobody's coming up behind me. I'm keeping in the offside, and then I'm bringing it, position it to look round the right-hander, so I've got a good view. Just checking now mirror, just checking the golf course exit. So I'm looking in, no danger to us, nobody in it. Bringing the motorcycle now towards the offside, position 3, to have a good look round the bend. Slight loss of vision on the crest here, so taking a position 2. The junction on the left, we're just going to check that there's nobody in to cause us any danger. There is one vehicle in it, and we've got one vehicle waiting to turn across our path. Okay, both drivers saw us, so bringing the speed up to the 50 mile an hour. Now I'm bringing the position into position 3. Position 3 round this bend. I know it goes into a 40, so I'm just going to roll the speed off nice and gently. Looking behind me in the mirror, no vehicles following, so no need for any signal at this stage. If there were vehicles following me and as I was coming into that 40 limit, I might have tapped the brake just to show them a brake light that I was actually slowing down, and they were reacting to my reduction in speed. We're actually going to go to the traffic lights here, Les, and we're going to go left on the Broadway towards Worksworth. It's okay, mirror. A lifesaver here, Les, just check your shoulder, make sure there's nothing on your near side as you go round. Okay, we're in the 30 limit now, keeping the speed at 30. One vehicle in front, no vehicles behind us. Road is bearing round to the right, so we'll just keep a nice steady position too through this 30-mile-an-hour zone. Just assimilating all the information that we've got. Road surface is dry, weather's good. We've got a vehicle parked on the near side. Driver getting something out the back of his vehicle, so we're just moving out a little bit, giving him a good berth as we go past. Good safety margin for us, and just adopting a gear for the speed nicely through. Local knowledge tells me that once we've got through Duffield here, we'll come to a 40 limit, and then we'll come to a 50 limit, where the road opens up for us going towards Cromford Hill. So keeping it 30, keep it 30, don't jump, don't get sucked in by the vehicle in front of you. Okay, 40-mile-an-hour zone come up, one vehicle behind me, he's turning. I'm just checking my right shoulder, just in case there's anything come up my offside, up to the 40-mile-an-hour speed limit. And then I know it's 50 miles an hour around the corner here, and I'm now going to take a rear observation, an offside position. I'm going to straighten this bend off, and this is where you probably find your position should be, Les, because it gives me a really nice straight upright position all the way through that S bend. So okay, here we go. Nicely done, Les, well done. Come out to position 3. Have a good look around this bend, look at the markings, shows the bend is opening up for us. Keep in that position 3 whilst we go around this left-hander. And there's a right-hand bend coming up, watching that junction there. And keeping it tucked into the near side, so we've got a good view around this right hand bend. Sign saying be careful of cattle might be on the road from fields, from the farm. So okay, let's right hand bend, then a left hander, so let's get to the position 3 and now to position 1. Position 3 now as we go round this left-hander. Let's get a good look around, There's a lovely open view we have now got, and I'm just going to straighten this bend off so that I'm in a position here. This is where you should be now, Les, where I am. So we're going round the right-hander now, and then it goes to a left-hander, so I'm going to take a bit of a view. No vehicles behind me, so nobody's been put out with the fact I'm using a bit of offside, pinching a bit of the offside carriageway, get a better view. Coming up ahead is a sign saying series of bends. I'm going to take a nice gear for the speed that I've got. I know it says slow, we're doing a nice speed, the speed is right, the gear is right. And away we go nicely. Well done, Les. Very nice. So have a good look. Having a look up ahead, just checking where the road goes. The hedgerows and the tree lines tell us that up ahead we're going round to the left. Just after we've gone through this right going now to the left. So let's go to a position 3. Give ourselves a good look round. Look over the hedgerows when we can. And so far so good. Just checking our position. Mirror check, still no vehicles behind us. Mirror check now, coming into a 40 limit. Local knowledge tells me there's a set of traffic lights ahead where we intend to go straight on. There's a vehicle parked on the off side of the road, so the road is restricted somewhat. Traffic lights have just changed against us, so just rolling the speed off nice and gently, bringing the speed down, going through the box. Okay, we're going to check left and right. Good, which you did. That was good. Checking the blind junction there. Up to the speed limit of 40. Get your position ready for the 50. Position 3, and away we go. We can see that the road goes round to the right and then to the left. Checking that vehicle in the lay-by there. Everything good. Up to the speed limit. Nicely, check. One vehicle in front doing probably about 40 odd mile an hour. If the opportunity presents itself, we can look at making a little bit of progress when it's safe to do so. So don't get sucked into the danger. Have a look, come back. You should actually be where I am now, Les. Not too close to him until we're ready to start overtaking manoeuvre. Okay, in that near side. No. That's the way you should be, Les. You should be back off him. The road goes round to the left ahead with a warning sign that it is a bit of a tight bend. So we're not going to get the opportunity to overtake this vehicle until we're through this hazard. So let's just have a look at where this road goes. Just come out to position 3. Warning signs of uneven road surface, so let's just be a little bit careful with the road surface here. Coming off that vehicle, let's not get too locked into him. Might have had a chance there, Les, to actually take him just before the 40. I've got one vehicle behind me, so if I do have cause to deviate or look at an overtaking manoeuvre, then I will need to signal for the vehicles that are following me. I'm taking a gear for the speed, and we're coming into the village of Hay, and 33, 32, 31. The vehicle behind me has recognised that I'm slowing down and is in fact turning right. So we're going to go through the village of Hay now, nice and gently, 30 mile an hour, looking to maintain the position 2. I've still got a vehicle behind me, in fact 2 or 3 vehicles. So I will need to indicate should I alter course at any stage. Noticed a vehicle pulling off from the offside in front of us, Morrison's van. So be careful of him because he's liable to stop. He's a delivery van, he could stop at any stage looking for an address to deliver to. So we're just taking it nice and gently through IG tape. Local knowledge tells me that the 30 mile an hour becomes a 40 in a moment. I'm looking at a position 1 now, Les, so I've got a good look around this right hander. There's the 40 mile an hour. Okay, there we go, up to 40. That was a good overtake, Les, well done. Well planned and well executed. Just hold on that 40. Now to the 50. Checking the mirror. Checking the vehicle behind me has reacted to the fact I'm increasing my speed. Look at our positioning now. Nice position 1 as we go round. A position 3. Back to the 1. Work the bend nicely. Looking up ahead, the road goes round to the left, the Morrison's van in front, and then we've got a heavy goods vehicle in front of him. So just check. Position 3 as we go around this left-hander, but slight loss of vision. And then we come up to a beautiful straight run where we've got vision all the way through to the left-hander up ahead. Maintaining that speed limit, getting up to the 50 mile an hour, just checking my mirror again. Still got a vehicle behind me, so we'll need to signal should I decide to deviate. Watching this right-hander now, riding it through. Sign saying a bit of a slippery road surface, so just being a little bit careful. Just getting a gear for the speed. Road layout ahead, I know from my local knowledge that over this bridge is a left-hander. Not to be sucked in by the Morrison's van. Nice. Good. School area coming up. Just holding off from those vehicles in front so as not to get sucked into danger. Checking that exit on my left. No problem, no danger to us. Looking now across the hedgerows, we can see where the road is going, and I can see there's a vehicle approaching. Just holding it off, getting a gear for the speed. I'm now looking to have a good look around this left-hander, just straightening off the bend. Looking down the hedgerows, I can see it's a dip, and we're coming into a slow sign, 40 mile an hour speed limit. Local knowledge tells me we're coming into the village of Worksworth. Solid white line outside the road, so our opportunity to progress and overtake has gone. Certainly for the moment. Road is opening up somewhat. But there we are. Still in a 40 and coming into a 30 for the village of Worksworth. Checking my mirror, make sure the vehicle behind has actually reacted to the fact I'm slowing down. Gear for the speed. Acceleration is okay, don't need to accelerate anymore. Just riding this through the village of Worksworth. I'm adopting a nice position too, and I would come back off that vehicle if I were you, Les, so you've got a better view round it. Bear in mind he might deviate quickly at some stage, so just come off him a little bit, so you're not getting sucked into him. Okay, we're coming down now to a mini traffic island in the road where we intend to go straight on. Heavy goods is just pulling out a little for the parked vehicles. I'm just checking my mirror and a shoulder check as I pull out, just to go around that parked vehicle. The vehicle in front is turning across our path. Well done, Les. Nice restraint there, you held it well. Okay, just going through the village of Worksworth now. Nice and gently through. That's good. Just maintaining the position 2 as we go through, watching the parked vehicles, nobody opening doors on us. Just keeping away from that tipper lorry in front, so we can actually see a little bit more. Okay, quick mirror check to make sure there's nobody coming up our offside as we pull off. And a shoulder check. Speed 30 mile an hour, just under. Gear for the speed, no problem. Following you through, come off him a little bit, Les. You're a bit close to him. And bear in mind his size, he's going to actually allow traffic to come on ahead of him on the other side if there's parked vehicles on the near side. So he's taking it safely through. So just come off him that little bit. Where you should be is where I am. Give yourself the good braking distance. You'll see when you watch the video, you are a little bit close to him when there's no need to be so. I've got a better view of the road up ahead than you have because I'm further behind, which is where you should be. Looking around now, road goes round to the left. Vehicle coming down the hill. We've got an uphill route now. And my local knowledge tells me that we get up to the bridge up ahead and start to go down Cromford Hill fairly shortly. I'm in a nice gear for the speed, which is for my bike is a 3rd gear. Just going through nicely, still maintaining the 30 mile an hour, watching that vehicle approaching from the other side. Good. Check, check. 40 mile an hour limit coming up. However, I do know from local knowledge that we're now hitting a steep incline, a 12% gradient hill. So I know it's a 40 limit, but I'm just going to hold the machine back that little bit. Particularly we've got a vehicle in front and we've got emergency services vehicle coming up behind us. So I'm going to start indicating and waving it through. Just pull in, Les. That's it. Let the emergency vehicle come through. nice and gently down Cromford Hill now, keeping it held back, the speed at 30, just holding your gear. Just if you need to apply your brakes, just do so nice and gently. Just before you apply your brakes, just check your mirror to make sure the vehicle behind is actually going to react to the fact you're braking. Bring the speed down nice and gently. At the bottom of the hill we intend to turn right onto the A6. Just holding the speed down on the brakes and the engine brake. There's a bus just pulling out from the near side. As we go down, checking my mirror. The vehicle behind me has reacted to the fact I've slowed down. Just scanning now the traffic up ahead. Traffic lights are on green for us at the moment. They may change by the time we get there. Heavy goods is turning left on the Viagello out of our way, which is good. And we intend to turn right here. Past the bus on the near side, good. And lights have just changed against us, so bringing the speed down nicely and bringing the vehicle to a halt. Okay, we'll just adopt a nice neutral gear, holding it on the front brake, right foot down, that's good. In general terms, Les, you look good on the bike. You're actually dominating your position on the road, which is nice to see. Hi, Mart. Okay, here we go. Just life-safe as we go round that right-hander. If we're turning right or left, just to a last second life-save to make sure there's nothing coming up your offside or your near side respectively. Okay, we're in a 40, limits going to a 50. I'm now going to check my mirror and then shoulder check, and away we go. I'm now going to take a position 3 here to have a look around this left-hander, watching the garage forecourt on the offside, make sure there's nothing coming off going to cause us a problem. I'm now going to tuck into the near side with a right-hander. This is where you should be, Les, so you can have a good look around, check, and off to position 3. Have a good look around the left-hander, what the road is going, and then we come into position 1 for this lovely sweeping right-hander up ahead. Come in. Get your view, look at the road markings. They're showing our position 3 now. The road markings were showing us there that the road was opening up for us from solid white line to dotted white line. And the opposite is true here, where it's showing us the bend is tightening for us. I'm coming into the near side, there's roadworks up ahead, looking at this, and it looks like there might be traffic signals up ahead. So I'm just bringing the speed down somewhat. I'm actually checking my mirror, make sure that the vehicle behind me is actually seeing that I'm actually bringing the speed down and slowing down. The traffic lights are on green for us. I'm indicating to the vehicles behind that I'm going to the off side of the road. Cancel it when I'm on the off side, no problem. Check, check, check. When we come back in, I'm just going to do a mirror check and a shoulder check. Check in. Okay, now I'm just going to come to position 3 on this left-hander. Traffic is quite slow because of the roadworks we've just come through, so just coming off that bus that little bit, give myself a bit of a view up its near side. I can see that we've got opposing traffic, and we've got vehicles in front of the bus, so I'm just checking my mirror. I've got vehicles behind me, so we'll need to give a signal should I need to deviate. Coming now into the near side to have a good look around this right hand bend. I'm taking a gear for my speed. And speed is at the moment only 35 mile an hour in a 50, but we've got a line of traffic doing a slow speed, so we're just sitting nicely behind the queue of traffic. It's now coming into a 40 limit. Local knowledge tells me this is very short-lived, this 40 limit, and it will go back up to a 50 fairly shortly. So I'm now sitting back off that bus, and I can see a little bit more than you can, Les, and I'm now in a position 3 to look round the left-hander, and I'm now looking up the near side of the bus. And I'm now going to come into the near side for the right-hand bend to give myself a good look round the right hand that's coming up. I'm tucking myself in. This is where you should be on this right-hander. So, okay, we're having a good look round the bend. Is there an opportunity there when we come off the bend? No, there isn't. Watching that vehicle on near side. Taking a gear for the speed as we've increased the speed now to just over 40. Traffic up ahead is still quite heavy. Local knowledge tells me that we're coming now to a left-hand turn. The road goes round the left over the bridge. Checking my mirror. Speed comes down, so I'm getting a gear for my speed. I know my local knowledge tells me that ordinarily going over this bridge for me it's a nice third gear. However, just coming to a halt because the bus is allowing the lorry and opposing traffic to come over, giving that lorry a bit of space. So okay, I know that the road goes round to the right here and back into the 50. Coming off, good position, come off there, position 3. Just be careful of the bus, it could stop at any stage. It obviously is a bus route, so we're just keeping our position 3, having a look. Bus is going to be doing 50 mile an hour, so he's not going to give us much of an opportunity. The road goes round to the right of ahead, so I'm tucking myself in. Tucking in for this right-hander, not going too far in because of the crap that's in the gutter there. Keeping this nice position. Weather has changed that a little bit, we're getting a bit of showers, so the road might get a little bit wet. Tucking in for the right-hander again. And then it goes round to the left, so I'm coming off that bend, that left-hander, that right-hander to this left-hander, now in position 3, having a good look around and looking up the near side of the bus. Near side of the bus, I can see around the corner. I've got a good position, which is where you should be here. The bus looks like it's slowing down. It is for tractor on the near side. Checking my mirror. Good, well done. Executed well. But you'd have seen that tractor a little bit earlier if you'd have been further back off that bus. Keep in a good position, and we've got roadworks up ahead. And my local knowledge tells me will be traffic lights. Signs pulling us into the near side. I can see up the near side of the bus that we've got a green light. So I'm going through the roadworks nice and gently, check, check. Nothing coming our way. We're okay, and we intend to go left in a moment on the A610 towards the motorway and the A38. So I'm going to indicate to the vehicle behind that I intend to turn left. I've already checked my mirror before the signal. Gear for the speed. Quick lifesaver to make sure nothing's coming up my near side, like a pedal cyclist or something like that. Acceleration away from the hazard. Position now, might as well stay in position 2 for this as traffic up ahead. We're in a 40 limit, so we're doing about 35, approaching 40, but traffic up ahead. There's an oncoming vehicle, possibly in the middle of the bridge here. Yeah, here he comes. So we'll just come out of his way. Still adopting a nice position too. Weather, we've still got a few drops of rain on the visor, which tells us that it may be starting to shower a little bit heavier, but the road is still quite dry. Shouldn't be too slippy at the moment. Again, just following a nice position too, at 40 miles an hour through here, knowing full well that around the corner there are lights, and it looks like they're red against us because I can see traffic is slowing down, so I'm just bringing the speed down on my brakes, checking my mirror, checking over my shoulder that the vehicle behind has reacted to the fact I'm slowing down, bringing the speed of the vehicle to a halt. I've already got a first gear. I'm now going to check over my shoulder, make sure nothing's coming up my offside as I pull off. Checking the near side, no pedal cyclists coming up the near side either. Just nice and gently going through this hazard. Coming to the near side a little bit, so I've got a bit of a view round the right-hander ahead, although it's only a 30 mile an hour zone. Accelerating away, speed is right, gear is right. Moderate acceleration as we're going around here. Gear for the speed. And just holding back off that white van in front of the VW. Just looking around the bend, I can see we've got traffic coming against us. Road is opening up that little bit. Just checking my mirror now and over my shoulder as I increase speed to 40, so the vehicle behind is reacting to my increase in speed. Seeing that the road goes round to the left and then to the right, perhaps a bit sharply because we've got double white lines. So just keeping a nice near side position 1. And then a position 3. And a position 2 as we go down, just nice and gently. And we've got traffic lights up ahead, which are on green at the moment. Not sure if they'll stay green for us as we go down. Bringing the vehicle speed down, checking my mirror. Vehicle behind has reacted to my reduction in speed. Checking the junction on the left, checking those vehicles turning across us, or waiting to turn across us. Quite safe to go through. Get out of the hazard as soon as you can. Okay, here we go, 40 limit now, and then it's going to go to a de-restricted national speed limit of 60 miles an hour on this carriageway. Checking the mirror, shoulder check. Can't get up to the 60 at the moment because of the traffic in front of us. So holding back off that white transporter in front. I'm now going to take up a position of 1 so I can see right round the bend, the right-hander. This is where we should be, Les. So we can see. Local knowledge tells me our route is going to take us up to the traffic island at the top fairly shortly, and then we're going to turn right onto the A38. So I'm just mirror check, shoulder check, indicator, adopting the offside lane as we go into the island. Just checking now what's coming onto the island. Looking, there's nothing, the island is empty. Vehicles in front, no problem at all. Taking it nicely round, keeping the indicator on. Being careful of the automatic cancellation. Round to the right. And wait. Now we start to indicate off the island, and we're going to be on the offside lane. And I'm going to start increasing my speed now up to the speed limit, which I know is 70. I'm now going to check the carriageway. Lane 1 is clear. I'm having a last minute check. I'm indicating, and we're just having a last minute check before we join. Well done, Les, very nicely onto that carriageway. Just a tip, you're better off on the offside lane coming up there on the slip road. Out into lane 2 quite nicely, well done. Okay, maintain a 70 mile an hour now. Doing nicely, 70. Vehicles in the inside lane, lane 1, are moving slower than us, so we can stay on the out lane 2. We're not inconveniencing any vehicles behind us who may be wanting to pass. at greater than the 70 mile an hour limit. We're now coming into the near side. No need for a signal from me. We've slowed down that little bit. We've got a vehicle coming up on lane 2. I can see that you're actually looking in the mirror in respect of this vehicle. So I'm going to come out now, Les, and start to look at overtaking these heavy goods. Well done. Yeah, it's not rain, that's spray from the Freelanders water bottle, I think. Off we go past these 2 heavy goods, and we've got another heavy goods lane 1 in front of us. So we're going to stay out in lane 2, checking the mirror. There's no vehicle behind in lane 2 that we're going to inconvenience, so we're going to stay where we are. Just adjusting our speed for the speed of the traffic up ahead in our lane. So we're down to about 65 mile an hour, which is okay, fine. Road is sweeping nicely round to the left, sunshine coming out now, so might get a bit of glare. So past these heavy goods. Again, another heavy goods in lane 1. Looking behind me, no vehicles coming up in lane 2, so nobody inconvenienced. So I'm going to stay where I am, maintain my 70 mile an hour. I'm watching that vehicle in front coming onto our lane. Until we get past it, and now I'm coming in nicely. Now I'm past it, no problem. Just be careful of slip roads onto dual carriageways or motorways. If you just check the slip road as soon as you see it, nice shoulder check, look at it, and then just as it comes to join the carriageway, another look just in case anything comes down the slip road at speed onto your carriageway. And we were in lane 2, so just stay there, lane 2 till you get past it, and then come in. Okay, we're doing about 65 now, and we've got a vehicle coming down in lane 2. Not sure what we're doing with this vehicle in front, but I'm going to look at overtaking him fairly shortly. So I'm coming out now. I've mirrored, I've signalled, and I've manoeuvred, and I've got the information. I've got my position, I've got my speed, my gear is right, and I'm accelerating. Now I'm going to stay in this lane 2 because I've just seen the marker board for the island at the bottom. I've got no vehicles behind me in this lane, so I'm not inconveniencing anybody. And I know from local knowledge this is probably the best lane to be in because we intend to turn right at the island, back into Starbucks and for the debrief. have to say, there's overall a very decent first session. There are a few bits and pieces we need to improve on, but overall a good safe ride, and we can certainly work on the issues that we will discuss in the debrief of positioning, rear observations, lifesavers, etc. But in all, a very nice ride, thank you very much. Okay, we're just waiting for the lights to change now, and we're going to be taking the Alverton Road toward Little Eaton. We're going to turn left into Starbucks car park. And a tip for you on this island, Les, when you're going down this side, if you've got a car following you onto the road, onto Alverton Road, and you're going to keep your indicator on, it's just a confirmation hand signal to the fact you're going to be turning left into the car park is ideal. So we've got a car following. I'm just going to indicate confirmation signal with a hand signal.